Yeah, hi. So, we're going to cover working on a G major sound chord wise, right? And scales of choice that I could play on top of that. Obviously, G itself, G, A, B, C, D. Right? So that works fine, right? So there's a 7-note scale for you to work with. You could also use the G major pentatonic. Right? So that streamlines it down, it gets rid of the C, gets rid of the F sharp. So you're only left with G, A, B, D, E. And that's cool for any basic triad major chord. You know, work off the major pentatonic built right off the chord tone root. And that's cool. And actually, you know, another candidate or another embellishment of the G chord could have been the G major 6 chord. So what I'm doing here is G and E and B and A. D, I'm sorry. That chord was very big in the early days of big band dance music and stuff. So the 1-6 chord used to be like the big home center tonal root chord of all choices. And it also fits that G major pentatonic beautifully. Right? So, another great candidate for that. But what if your G is a major 7th and you end up with G? That can kind of fit, but I don't have the 7th. I'm not indicating the idea that I have the 7th in there. So what we actually do is we use the major pentatonic built off the 5 of the chord. So G major 7, if I use D major pentatonic, D, E, F sharp, A, B. See how it fits it like a glove? It's just got that whole tone, it just pulls you right into the major 7th sound. So we're actually doing 5, 6, 7, 9, and 3. And that's our note choices. It's a great transition. Any one of those chords can actually be interchanged with each other. So I could have G, so anytime I'm making those kind of chord shifts, I really want to kind of think about the scale choices that I'm playing on top of them. Okay, and that's where a lot of that comes into play. So another thing we started looking at was doing well, double stop ideas, right? So one double stop idea I love, if I'm like in G, doing the B and the D, right? Now you might say, well, geez, you know, I'm on this. What's that got to do with it? Because that's the D and the F, which is the flat 7. Well, I hate to say it, but you know, the blues works all the time. So I could be in the most beautiful so I could heading for that 1, and if I do a flat 7, dominant 7th chord interchange, it's great. Actually works great. So here's a B D, here's D F, here's E G, here's G B flat. So where's the B flat coming from? Right? It comes into play when we're doing, like, say, the G major pentatonic, and we do A, B flat, B, D, E, G, do, 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 do. So a lot of times we flow that. We'll combine the flat third along with the major third, and really helps out. And it takes care of that 5-tone pentatonic scale and creates a 6-tone. It's so much easier to 1 triplet, 2 triplet, right? So much easier to think in triplets when you got 6 notes than to think like 1 triplet, 1 and, you know, or 2 and. So, you know, we don't think that way, really. Our heads don't work. I mean, our heads work that way if we're like in dream theater and we're thinking odd time signatures of 5, 7, and whatever else they think. But here, well, I'm sidetracked. So yeah, blues scale can be interchanged alongside of the major scale. But you have to know how to use it wisely. You really have to know how to use it wisely. So if I'm on here, right? So, I mean, I just did total blues scale, but played it against that G major 6 chord. And it can be done, you know? Here's, I took the G B flat and turned it into G B. There I was G flat F. There's the E G. I can kind of do a little chromatic dissension on that. Right. So a lot of cool little things coming out of it. That little 12 fret harmonic on the first 3 strings, beautiful. So yeah, you can get a lot of riffs out of it. And the other thing is to think about your fingerings too. Okay, so that's a great fingering. This one's great too. So going across that way. Or using the open string voicings is fine too. Right. Oh, Sparky's complaining a little, so I'm going to have to call it short on that. Find out what's the matter with my little boy. I think he's just missing his mama, but okay. So, anyways, that's a good rough start on what am I going to do over a G chord, right? And there was a couple of times I was throwing F, right? And that's so that all works too. You know, it really works well. So occasionally we'll have a major chord built off that flat 7 of that major chord that we were on and to boot. And it works. So anyway, so hope that helps.